All righty. Let's see if I'm on. Good morning, family. This is your girl Reese, aka the best that ever did it, aka a rolling solo today. I don't know where the rest of my crew is. Molly Mall or my sister Bernice. But I have Rolo Bolo Solo. Good morning, fam. Love you guys. If you guys see this and y'all come on, jump on in. Alrighty, today on the Morning Mac Show, I came across a story that I found rather interesting. It's called, she is called Mama Uganda. And I found her story interesting and wanted to talk about it and share with you guys because it's about this young African woman. When I say young, she's 40 years old and she had given birth to 44 children. 44. Wow. I mean, I fathom the thought because I'm sitting here thinking, like, wow, 44 babies? I could barely deal with the one childbirth baby that I had. But this lady pushed out 44. She was pregnant of a sum, they said 18 times. Out of her 44 children, she gave birth, but right now the total stand at 38 because six of them had passed. Her story was one that she was a young mother. Her mother, this is in Uganda, Africa, y'all, and I don't know about the customs of how they do things over there in Africa, but she was sold into a marriage with an older gentleman at 12 years old. She started at 13 having her babies. Now, when she started having her babies, she started with having triplets, quintuplets, and twins. There were never just one birth, these were multiple births. She had suffered, later found out that she had suffered from a condition. I don't know if they going to really call it a condition, that you suffer from a condition called hyperovulation, and that is a condition when you release more than one egg for fertilization at a time. I guess whatever part of the world she was in, they must have been coming in clusters like that. So she was married, had a husband, started birthing out babies at the age of 13. She went to the doctor because she was thinking something's wrong here, and the doctor misled her. She must have went to a witch doctor because he told her to keep having babies to use up all the eggs, and then the condition would stop and go away. I thought that was quite amusing to me. It was just for someone to say that, but what you don't know about science is what you don't know about science. But here's the sad thing: when she had her last child, her husband left her. He left her, y'all. After all of that, after doing all of that, all those babies, he said enough is enough, and he left her. Okay, fast forward, she was stuck with all her babies. She thought maybe she should give them up for adoption. She didn't know what to do. So she left and tried to find her. Well, let me backtrack. She grew up, and her mom left her. She had, I think, it was like six siblings. Her mom left her. Her father remarried. Okay, and while she was gone out, her stepmother poisoned her other five brothers and sisters by feeding them glass in their food. The only reason why she didn't get sick and die is because she was out at that time and was not fed the food with the glass in it. Cruel, right? Cruel. And she was the only child left. Then her father sells her sells her at 12 years old to an older gentleman. And then at 13, she starts having babies. Tell me that's awful. That is so sad. I can't even um, wrap your head around it because we live over here in nice, cushy America, where we have orphanages if you don't want or other family members. But over there in Uganda, Africa, it's a much different story, much different thing. Okay, now back to the story. What I was saying, how her husband got fed up and left her. Yeah, he left her with 44 of their children. Oh, I got a call coming in. Hold on. Hey, yo. Yeah, you would have. I guess what? I'm doing the show. I think I'm trying to do the show. I think I'm live. I don't know because I went ahead and try to figure out some things. So um, let me send it to you. Let's see. How do? Okay, I'm getting ready. 159 492 492. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. But okay, y'all. It was my super producer. Okay. Yay. Did I think I did things right? I don't know. But so her husband leaves her. Her husband left her, and when he left her with all those kids. He just said, "I'm tired of all these babies," and he left. But here's the funny thing: he left her, remarried, and went off and had 20 more children. Where they do that at? So he had a total what of 64 children. Well, 58 because six of his children were Mama Uganda died. uh to me that's a powerful if Molly get a chance, he gonna bring the video up so y'all can see this. And I thought this was a heartbreaking and a heart-wrenching story because here it is, we're over here in cushy America. We over here where we think that we have it tough, but we don't have any idea some of the things that people go through in these other countries. And you may say, well, why didn't she stop having the babies? Or why didn't she try to do birth control? Well, she did. And tried to do birth control. It didn't work. Um, she tried to, you can't not have sex with your husband. In those countries like that, your your husband have the right to rape you. That's what you call it when you're forced to have sex. Your husband have the right to do that stuff. Again, people, this isn't America we're talking about. We're talking about Uganda, Africa. And their custom and cultures are very different. That's why a lot of women, I've talked to a lot of African ladies, that's one of the reasons why they choose to come here to America, so they won't have to be subjected to the customs and cultures from their region and religion. She grew up in the Christian household, but as she got older, she turned to Islam. Or, she became Muslim, which I find it funny because half of your children are Christian, half of them decide to become Muslim. But Amali, if you get a chance, you could roll the video of Mama Uganda so they can see the actual lady about this particular story. Because I couldn't figure that part out, or how to do the live and share the screen. Um, sometimes God help those who help themselves. So I tried to help and do and get everything started. But I'm not a super producer like Molly Mall. So hopefully you guys, I did something right. I'm broadcasting. Hopefully it's doing what it's supposed to do. But it says check, check, check on all the other levels in here. Alrighty. And I don't know where my sister Bernice is. Um, they must have had I know the game was on last night and people was football and partying and all that good stuff. But that's okay. Um, Sometimes we need the break or we need the rest. But Bernice, where your butt at? I'm looking for you whenever you get a chance. Get in here. That's if you can. Alrighty. We got the video for Mama Uganda up.
Fertile woman in the world. At the age of 40, she gave birth to 44 babies, fathered by the same man. Most of them are twins, triplets, and quadruplets. Only her last baby was born alone. People call her Mama Uganda and consider her a brave woman. Not because she gave birth so many times, but because she takes care of her family by herself after her husband left. But there's something even more surprising about her, and this is the reason why she has so many babies. This is the incredible story of Mama Uganda. In a remote village in Uganda lives a woman called Miriam Nabatanzi. She was abandoned by her husband when she was 1 month pregnant with her 44th baby. He told her that he was tired of living with the woman who gave birth to so many kids. He left her with no money and they're surviving 38 kids.
Essaawa zino nnyina abaana 38 bali abaana 42 abaana Mukama n'abanjijjako neesigaza abaana 38.
But that was just the latest setback in her life because Miriam had a tough life from the start. Miriam was abandoned by her mother when she was just a baby. And when her father remarried, her stepmom poisoned her 5 older brothers by mixing crushed glass in their food. Miriam survived because she wasn't home at the time, but her struggles didn't stop there. When she turned 12, her father sold her to an older man in an arranged marriage. When she turned 13, she gave birth to her first set of triplets. And that was just the beginning because more kids kept coming. Miriam tried to stop having babies many times, but all her efforts were in vain.
Nasalawo ne ŋŋamba zino famire ezajja ne ngira ne neekubya empiso. Empiso eyo omala ogyekubya namala emyezi 6 ku kitanda.
Doctors told her that the use of hormones was not sustainable for her. She then tried other methods, such as taking pills and tubal ligation, but nothing worked. And when she stopped using birth control, more babies kept coming in groups. But how is this even possible? Doctors say Miriam has a condition called hyperovulation, which makes her super fertile. And if she tries to stop having babies, her health can be affected. But can you imagine having 38 kids? How does she provide for all of them? Miriam is a living example of how strong a mother's love can be. She works day and night, taking multiple jobs to feed her children. She works as a tailor, a herbalist, a hairdresser, and more. All because she loves her children, and she has big dreams for them.
Enkadde ne ntandikako kumpya bwentyo kuba mpulira nga ekirooto kyange ky'abaana bange kusoma. Ebirala byonna ne bitabaawo naye nga bakoze eki.
Despite all the struggles she's faced, Mama Uganda believes her children are a blessing from God. And now that people know about her story, her life is changing for the better. People have helped her with food, money, and someone even gave her a truck for her family. This super mom surely deserves it.
Wow. See, that really gives speaks on a couple of different levels, a couple of different volumes. It speaks about the human the human mental, the human willingness to persevere. It talks about the human spirit. She had to survive, not just for her, but for all of those babies, that she had. It didn't mention how the 6 of her kids died when they were little. It didn't say how 6 died, but she had 44 children, and 6 of them died, so now she's down to 38. The age are ranging, and she's only 40 years old, y'all. She's 40 years old. And the age that's ranging from her kids is 5 to 25. You know, and I'm just in awe. I'm just like, wow, that's something. And she said that she do whatever she got to do to take care of all those kids. Woo, that's a lot of mouths to feed. But on the other hand, hopefully as they grow older and grow up, they'll be able to take care of their mom. You know, but shame on that man that left them. Could you imagine leaving a woman with all those babies behind? But the father did. And like I said in the story, he went off to have 20 more kids. He said, I'm tired of having all these babies. But if you tired of having all these babies, tie up your ding ding. Do something with the But over there, like I said, this is Uganda people. And they think differently, or they do differently, or they have different type of liberties than what we have, here in America. And I'm like this, wow, man. Let's see, is there are the people out there commenting on the stories? I mean, I know my grandparents, it was 11 of my grandmother and it was 14 of my grandfather. And I used to go wild to that. So I'm imagining their number tripled. I can't, fathom the thought. Some people come from big families like that, but wow, like my father, there was 11 of them. My mom, it was only 4 of them. But my father had 9 sisters and 10 sisters and a brother. Oh, was it 9? It was 9 sisters. It was 9 girls and 2 boys. That's. And one of the sisters died at childbirth. So I guess it would have been 12 of them jokers. But I'm just like, my word. And like I said, over there in Africa, Uganda, things are very, very, very different than it is over here in America, And it's tougher over there in Africa. It's more difficult, but the lady made it do what it do. And my hat goes off to her human, her will, if you may, her will, her strength. Man, speaking of having all of those babies and being forced to be submissive, I've been watching TikTok. There's a TikTok video going around. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's about this guy. The subject is people using love to get a place to stay. It's funny because one of the plug members, Mr. Ernest Wiggins, Mr. Shea Butter himself, yeah, I'm going to drop your name, always say that good penis will get you 6 months of free rent. That part's the lie. But what will get you some months of free rent is that the fact that we try to, we're in love with falling in love. My brother, Slicky Woo Boo, say he don't have no love for hoes. He ain't got no love for them. So, in other words, he telling me, what's love got to do with it? Don't let love lead your heart for nothing. That way you don't be a sucker. That's the Slicky Woo, and that's how he do. I may think he hard, but he might be on to something. Because in his TikTok video, the question is telling a woman or a man that you love them in order to have a place to stay. See, they're not falling in love. They're not giving you a place to stay because of the act. It's the idea of being in love. Oh, you're a couple or you're in love, and it's just so they can hunker down, so they can shelter in place. You're going to pretend to be in love with somebody, pretend to love them, just so you can have a place to stay. I think about that thing. When I saw the video, I laughed because here comes this dude in the door telling the girl, oh, I love you. And then he looks in the camera like, ha, 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 I got her. I had to think about that thing. How many of that is real? how many men or women out there is really going through that? Good morning, Colton. Good morning, Molly. Good morning. Wait a minute. Where Lady B at? DJ Slicky. I don't know where she is. Molly, if you could send her the link. Because I don't know how to send out the link. I don't know where my sister is. I tried calling everybody this morning. The only one that answered the plug was Ernest Slicky. I tried to call you individually. I didn't get no answer. So I said, okay. So I tried to do everything myself this morning. And Molly jumped in and gave me a hand. But I know he was up late with the football and stuff. So I said, you know what? Sometimes I got to let my crew relax. And, sometimes I got to try to make it do what it do on my own. And that's what I tried to do, y'all. I launched the show. It may not have been as nice and classy as Molly does it. But I launched it. I got the cracking. Y'all should have saw me trying to look and read and see and what to click on what. But I did something because we live now. But back to the topic. What I was saying, how people would say they love you for a spot. They will love you. They say they love you just to get what they want. Men and women, beware. Beware of those snares and the games that people play. Because a lot of times people say, yeah, boo, I love you to get them draws. Now they saying, yeah, boo, I love you to get 3 hots in the cot. Hey, Latrice, good morning, boo. And I see it. And then I sit back and I look at my girlfriends and everything and the people that are in a relationship to see which one looks like love and which relationships look like convenience. See, I could do that now because I'm sitting back. And some other people relationship like love because you can feel love, you can see love when it's reciprocated back and forth. And in some of them relationships, it look like it's just strictly one-sided. The woman go out to work, the man don't have a job, and leave the car, let the girl drop her off, be able to come back and pick him up. Or I even know some situation where the girl don't work, take the husband or the boyfriend back and forth to work, drop the car off. Drop them off at work, take their car and go cheat with another man. Where they do that at? Because she know her man is at work. So she could get out there and play them little cat and mouse games. It's sad because stuff like that gets you killed playing around with somebody like that. You think it's one way, and you find out they was using me, they was fleecing me the whole time just to get over, to get what I got. Woo! That'll get you hurt up. A friend of mine had a situation like that. She would drop her man off to work, and then she would go to work and pick him up back in the evening. And he had a part-time job, so she said, right? So he said, so she would give him the car. Oh, you'd be like, where's such and such at? Oh, he had to go to work. Honey, he was going to his other girl's house. I was like, goodness gracious. And when she found out, I remember she cried many, many days because she was like, how could I be a fool? We all play the fool sometimes. There's no exception to the rule. And I ain't lying. Everybody, the song by Main Ingredients, Cuba Gooden Jr.'s father, he didn't tell nothing but the truth. So don't be hard on yourself, people, and don't give up on the fact that you want to love or want to find somebody. All we need to do is be careful and think on how we move around things and how we move around people and stuff. You know what I mean? Because these relationships can be very, very tricky, but don't beat yourself up about it. And another tip, if you're not married, you're single. And a lot of people, put so much into these relationships with the boyfriend and girlfriend that by the time you get married, you're going to be so salty and bitter, thinking the boyfriend did or thinking the husband going to do what the boyfriend did. Can't do that either. Can't bring that extra baggage. When every time you start anew, it's supposed to be just that. You got to give this new partner in your life a chance to make their own mistakes and own mess ups. And as do you, because nobody perfect. Nobody's perfect. So look at me acting like I'm a relationships coach. But I do counsel and help a lot of people out that's in relationship, men and women. You can listen to an old fool if you want to. You don't have to listen. But this old fool know what she talking about. She done been around and seen some things, and she care enough to want to talk and help other people through some stuff. See, that's the giving. That's in the heart. Because a real hero don't need any recognition. I wish Bernice was here. Molly, did you send the thing to Bernice for her to come in? Molly may be working with the other show right now. Cause to, let me see.
Yeah,
Uh,
I sent it to her. She ain't come in yet.
okay, okay. Um, because she had a very interesting take, and we may go ahead and and keep that for tomorrow's show topic. It was very interesting. I'm not going to tell y'all what it's about because I'm gonna let her talk and introduce that when she get in it. When she get in, she had a good a topic. Something to make you go, hmm. And I agreed with it. So, what is Latrice is saying? Mom and dad always say, however, however they treat you before marriage is usually how they treat you during the marriage. Mm, Latrice, I will respectably agree to disagree. The way they treat you before marriage sometimes is not what we get when we get married. They have to send a representative. See, sometimes we don't know who we get. We could be sleeping with the enemy. A lot of times that happens. A person get one way, and then next thing you know, they get in their marriage, they get complacent, and then you see the real them, and you was like, "Whoa! If I knew that this is what I was getting, I would have ran for the hills." But that's what they got to do. The men and women, they got to get out there and pretend. They got to pretend to bait you in because they can't show you the salty side of you. You know, they got to show you the all syrupy sweet side of you and stuff like that. Like Slicky, women used to bait my brother in by promising him DJ equipment, and then once they get in a relationship, he leave after the DJ equipment dry up. So was he using them? Yes. Was they using him? Yes. They was using each other. They're like, "Come on over here, I get you this, I get you that." He going over there, make it do what it do, and then he be like, "Okay, where my stuff? You don't get no stuff." He gone. See, and that's funny because a lot of people, men and women, do it for money, but DJ Slicky Woo Boo did it for DJ equipment. That's a little jokey joke. So he wasn't hard on the money. He was hard on some speakers, the Alpine speakers and the woofers, and the turntables, the spinners. He need his microphones. He need his cords. Check one, check two. So if you couldn't keep him laced up in his equipment, you didn't have he didn't have no interest. But he always said that his first love is music. So that's what he catered to. Not the individual soul, but music. And some people are like that. They in love with certain things and they would say they in love with the physical so they can get, what they need. Have I ever played that game? Have I ever pretended to like somebody and really didn't? No, I don't think I had because I was looking for something. I was stupid. I didn't know no better. I wasn't schooled to the game like, as far as relationship goes. I was very, very book smart and I was street smart when it comes to fighting and wrecking and all that stuff. But when it came to a relationship with a man and a woman, no. Although I would say I was gullible because I thought every man would be like my granddad, and I would treat every man good. Like that was like because I saw a good man. I had my grandfather to set that example, and I wanted to be good to my grandfather, like I thought my grandmother should have been good to my granddad. But they had a weird way of the yin and the yang, something that I didn't understand. Uh, there you go. 500 throw, 5,000 throw. I don't know what that means. 5,000 though. Oh, $5,000. Oh, Slicky, I don't know what you talking about. What you say? 5,000. But yeah. Back to what I was saying. They had a different type of relationship. So I will always treat. I would start the beginning of the relationship and end it the same way. Like if I started cooking for you at the beginning, I would continue cooking because I understood that whatever you did to get that man, you're gonna have to maintain it to keep your spouse. I didn't send a representative in that aspect. Now I did send a representative when I pretend to be a little dim because some men you got to cater to their egos and got to act like you helpless or you don't know what they're talking about. They like that, they like to feel like that the hero that they're doing something, you know. Then I thought about it. I said, no, I should never dumb myself down to appease man, woman, or child. I am who I am. And if you really genuinely love and care for me, you accept me the way I am. Smart mouth, smart whatever, smart everything. Because if this is you, this is you. That'll be like you sending a representative, you being fake. So, I used to do that back in the day. Um, stuff like I don't know how to change this tire. I don't know how to do this. But even though I knew how to change the tire, could check my oil and all that stuff because my daddy taught me. He was a mechanic, and he taught me some of the basic things with having a car, with just getting in it and driving. But I remember I was dating this dude, this joker, and I act like I didn't know nothing. I didn't even know how to put in gas because he was a car junkie and he liked showing and talking about cars and stuff like that. So I had to sit back and be like, oh, okay, well, what's that thing for? He said, girl, you don't know nothing. That's the speedometer. I'm like, yeah, okay. Knowing daggone way you got to know certain things to even have a driver's license. But I played the little game like, like I didn't know nothing. And I said, that didn't make me feel good about myself at all. That did not. So that was a game short lived. And I didn't play those games no more because it diminished my value. So if a man truly loves a woman, she should never have to diminish who she is or turn her brightness down to appease someone. And that goes the same way with a man as well. If you're bright, let your brightness shine. You shine bright. You glow. You do whatever it is that you do because that's what makes you you. And if somebody don't like your shine, your strut or your brightness, you tell them put some glasses on, put some shades on, get them Ray-Bans out. Okay? That's what you do. And that's a life lesson that I learned through life, growing up through life. See, a lot of the stuff that I'm talking to the people about and sharing my experiences with you all is some that some people gave me warning, some people didn't, and I didn't know, but I'm sharing with you true life experiences, so I can speak on some things. Like I said, you wouldn't believe what I've been through. I've been through a lot, know a lot, and I believe that God, the path that I took, it was path of my choosing, but that also fortified my path and my steps to come because I could look back and say, okay, I did this, this, and that. and it's like a roadmap, and I could hopefully guide somebody else, whether you man or woman, dog or child. You know what I mean? So I don't believe in keeping my mouth closed. I believe in talking and sharing my experiences so other people can learn something. It may help some people, and some people it may not help. We do it like we do food. You take it, eat it, digest it, and what's good you keep, and what's not good, the rest you discard as increments, as excrements. Sorry, excrements. Increments is increases. Excrements is feces. Sometimes I get those words, ink and s, a little mixed up. But yeah, that's what I'm telling the people. I'm telling the men and the women. And the reason why I always say go back and I always talk to the men because I have a male child, and I want to teach my son things so he won't get hurt either. I can't just be like, oh, men are this, men are this, men are not this, and men are not that. I never once talked to my son about his father growing up as a child because I don't believe in tearing down a child. I don't believe in that because I grew up, oh, your father this, your father that. You just like your father, all this and that. That does not make a child feel good. So I said, when I have my child, that I would never talk down about his daddy to him or disrespect his father like that. You don't do that to a child. Children don't need to hear that type of stuff, especially when they're trying to grow and go into their own, because some children could feel bad about that, saying, oh, so you're saying that my father's no good, so does that mean that I'm going to be no good? Children, we don't deserve that type of treatment, but some of us, we don't know no better, and that's the stuff you get. See, this is the stuff I'm talking about when you're going through life and you experience and go through some things. I really experienced and went through some things, so that's why I can tell, or how I can look back on the mistakes that I made growing up, coming up, the stuff that was done to me and the stuff that I did to other people. That's like, you can curtail that. So not to hurt no one else. And I never wanted to hurt nobody else. And I never do. That's not how I live. That's not how I'm designed. That's not the heart I have in me. Some people get off on other people's pain. I can empathize with them. Why is my phone keep going off like this? I, and I don't know. People are sending messages, and that's because tonight is Taco Tuesdays and Tequila down at Bar 210, and you come on down tonight for tomfoolery, $5 tacos, and if you use my name, you could get it free, y'all. That's Bar 210, straight down Indian Head. Come in, laugh, get your jokes on, get your laughs on, improv, and it's open mic. Yes, it's open mic. Um, I need to be looking and seeing what's going on. And like I said, if you come in and you use my name, you get in free. Just say, hey, I'm here to see Reese. They're gonna say, well, come on in. DJ Swag gonna be down there, and DJ Hova. There's a DJ Hova. There's two DJs down there. It's cute. Come see Miss Kim at the bar. She's gonna be mixing up the drinks and all that good stuff for you. And for those of you who's comedian who need to try out some new material, boom, there your workout room right there. And for those of you who's trying to get your feet wet or you get your cherry pop, boom, there you go right there. And I was hoping my sister Bernice would have been pop this so she could tell you guys about a light for Rome that's going to be happening this Saturday from 2 to 6 at the Thurgood Marshall building. The address I'm not sure in the Northwest, but Molly will put it up for you. The flyer. Come on and support that. It's a mental health, and I love for Bernice to be here to tell you guys about what's going on. Um, but I'll step in for my sister. I hold it down, Bernice. I hold it down. And let me see. Treese is saying hell. What she said? Hell yes, Reed. I've been through a lot. I chased a lot and didn't choose, but I've been through so much too. Okay, yup, trees to tell you. Oh, Slicky said in a little slow today. Gotta go. What's a little slow? Gotta go. You calling me slow, Slicky? Oh, okay. I don't know what Slicky says. Slicky just Slicky don't watch the Morning Max show for me anyway. He watches so he can see Bernice. He loved Lady B. Lady B, we love you. We missing you too. So I don't know what the people. I don't know what happened this morning. I guess we'll find out, and she can let you know tomorrow what happened and everything. So hopefully, Lady B will be back tomorrow. Let me see. Latrice said, "Hi, DJ Slicky Woo Boo." Okay, they're talking in the room. Oh, I guess the topic must be a little slow. Must not be get engaging them enough. Maybe, maybe not, but it is what it is. We went from the lady who had 44 children to talking about people that's trying to say they love you to get a place to stay, somewhere to hunker down, how they play that game, to say I love you, and then in relationships. So some people gonna get something out of it, some of them ain't. Marley, what's up?
What it do, Richie Ree? My lady, she getting up cancer. I got up late trying to get her shit together. She said she ain't want to do nothing today. And she just take the day off. I said, sure. And I got back on here with Ree Ree. What's up with you, Ree?
Oh, we talking about the lady with the 44 kids. And would you able to get a beacon on Bernice? Is she say is she all right?
I'm pretty sure she good. We done heard something. She probably went to sleep. We was up early chatting about 7 in the morning. And I went back to sleep. And she must dozed off too. All this was up.
Early in the morning.
Then, the lady, Uganda lady, I talked about her a few months ago. She had all them kids, and they was, I just don't like how people just make assumption, then other people say it, then it's just believable. Not the fact she had them kids that the father left because she had them kids. All them kids about the same dude.
Yeah,
On the last child, he decided to leave. They could have
yeah.
got into an argument, or at the end of the day, they not together, but they just
But
try to
that's
make
what
him
she said.
out to
They can't.
look bad, like he left her because she got pregnant. That's the case. He left her when it was at 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. He gonna wait till the 44th child.
That's
No,
what you heard it out
42nd
her own
child.
mouth, though, Molly. That's what she said.
No,
That he
yeah, I'm
got
saying
tired.
that's why I said we can't go off that. Like at the end of the day, that's the thought that blow me about people. He ain't say that. He ain't said a damn thing. We ain't hear from him at all. But at the end of the day, she ain't really say that. Y'all heard the guy in the video say that. She just got an interview and speaking in a whole nother language overnight, and she can be mad at the fact that he left. At the end of the day, if I'm with a woman that all she can do is have kids, and then if she don't have kids, it can affect her health if she don't have the kid. So it's like, come on, man. Like I ain't sitting around here on my 44th child, and they probably more than that. It ain't just about kids. It's taking care of these kids. Like, how do he supposed to take care of 100 kids? Just tell me that. Like, how did this man supposed to constantly take care of another mouth to feed? When it was at 20, how did he supposed to continue when it got to 30 or to 40? And let's say if he was in the house, these 44 kids somehow still gonna be able to be taken care of. And if they have sex, she get to 50 and 60. Like, how do he supposed to help take care of these kids? I'm just lost.
She was only 40 years old, but this I guess the same way that she took care of the kids. She had to. What did she say? She said she did hair. She was apothecary, meaning she was a herbalist. She did so many different things to do. We do what we do. How do it here
All
in
right.
America?
Exactly. And how do you take care of 44 kids in America? Tell me, name a girl that got time to take care of 20 kids and do all the jobs that they said she was doing to take care of these kids.
See, that's in a different country, and over there in African
It's still
stuff is
24
different over there.
hours.
Marley,
I don't think anybody in the world can take care of 44 kids, do hair, cook for somebody, clean for another person, curry goat for like no, these kids about to work. I don't care if you got 44 kids, all of them about to work. What I look like, man, the first 20, y'all about to be going to work for Miss Betty down the street. The rest of y'all gonna be pumping gas. Some of y'all gonna be doing this. Like at the end of the day, she is not just sitting back working while these kids sitting back eating. Man, put these kids to
no,
work.
they didn't have a lot to eat, so she gave people were donating and stuff, and she said they couldn't even play. The only thing they could do was sit down. What kids that's not going to play? But that's what they said that you know. So
She
and
said
then
put all
and
on
then
the
her
work.
older sons, they showed her them in the house like next to her. These was like 3-room dwellings, stuff like that. Her older kids got married and got family of their own, but all of them live in like the same like little cul-de-sac thing. The big house is where 12 of the kids and Mama Uganda stayed in the big house, the one with the 3 bedrooms, and then the other dwellings beside it is where the other children and their families were, some of the other sons. So, and I
Yeah,
guess some of the daughters moved out. You're right. I guess as they get in different ages, as they progress, the kids that's old enough to work, they go out and do something to try to help support the family. So, I
pretty
guess
much.
everybody working from the 5-year old to the 25-year old.
Yeah, man, you got to. You're a dude in here. I'm just trying to figure out like what Pop's supposed to do.
But
I know how it work. Y'all ain't getting no assistance unless the man out the house. Now the man out the house, oh, they can donate money. They can do this for her. They can do why they couldn't do all that when he was in there. I'm pretty sure they were still struggling. But soon the man leave, it become a story. Oh, he left me with all these kids. He was with you with all them kids. Why nobody help? Why wasn't a story then? It's never a story when the man in the house. But soon he's out the house, it's a big story. She got all these kids by the same guy. It ain't like it's different guys. He was dead throughout all of these kids, and the reason why he left was because she had too many kids. He'd have thought that when it was at 30. No, it's something more than that. It might be best for him to be out the house because now she getting all this help. Stay as far as you can from the house, so all these people can help her outside of America. Her best help would have been somehow getting her tubes tied and
but they
burnt
said
and
she
clipped
did. They
and
said
some
it
more
didn't work.
stuff. No, it
And
ain't work. Actually, it ain't work for a few people. My sister got hers tied and it came loose and she had to do it again. But that's the only thing. It ain't like it just like they tied it, burnt it, and then it didn't
well,
work.
one,
Like somebody popped it open.
oh, could you imagine somebody going up and when a woman get her tubes cut, tied, and burnt? I mean, well, it's two different things, two different procedures going on. One is getting them tied. The other one's getting them snipped and burnt. And a lot of times, very rarely do it. You heal yourself from getting it cut and burnt. That's like permanent cut and burnt. But when you
Yeah,
get the tube ligations, when you get them tied, they can come loose. They can. So that is possible. That happened a lot. So that's why they moved to the lighter of getting them cut and burnt. They get it. Not only the tubes are snipped, they burnt so they cannot reconnect. But some of these people are healthy as I don't know what, and they can get it done. And the only way that you can undo it is through by surgical procedure to reattach those. I only know because I'm a woman. You study that stuff. Like I don't know what men go through when they get a vasectomy. And why didn't they get a man a vasectomy? I guess they don't believe that. Because
nah, it ain't
after
got nothing to do with him. It's she getting pregnant. She can
well,
fuck the
he
next
got 20
time
more
dick in
kids.
her and then get pregnant again. It ain't got. Why would he chop his and she end up having sex with another guy? Like they not together now. I'm pretty
Right.
sure she find a guy he gonna get her pregnant. I'm just be so surprised how she became superwoman overnight just because she had a lot of babies. Ain't no woman I know out here 8 months pregnant, grinding and working out here. She's sitting her ass home waiting to conceive. And for her to have that many babies, that's how many times she been sitting around doing shit. Like I just can't see her
Well,
pregnant
the
every
babies,
time.
don't forget they were triplets, quadruplets,
Yeah.
and she suffered from a condition called over hyper hypertensive ovulation, meaning a whole bunch of eggs, multiple eggs would be instead of the one egg being there to wait to get fertilized, there'd be a whole bunch of eggs in the clusters at the same time. There was a European lady that she had 69 children back in the day, but that was with the help of drugs. She was doing what they call that in vitro fertilization with these drugs. This lady wasn't on no drugs and had all that stuff going on. But a lot of times, people that get triplets and twins is through in vitro fertilization, where they make sure you get more than one egg, and that's just in case the one egg don't make it. Procedures like that.
Yeah,
What's Latrice saying?
now them girls can't really have kids, so they be doing them to see. I worked UP until my son was born, Marley, and party. I had a scheduled surgery. Said she worked UP until her son was born, and them people should have been sued. And that's the thing. You had one child in your stomach. This lady been having three, four at a time. I just
At the
don't see it.
time.
Only time she had one child, that was the last one. She could have did what you did. But every other time, I just don't see it. I don't see girls out here partying with triplets and stuff like that. If it is, it's a
Triplets, and don't
weekend
forget
here and there.
quintuplets.
It's a weekend here and there, but they act like it been every day. Like, oh, I partied when I was pregnant. Okay, not all day, every day. Like you still grind, or if you worked at a job, you just sit down. It ain't nothing physical. That's okay. But you was up moving or lifting things, and then you gotta sit down. You can't work while you pregnant. You
But
need somewhere you can answer the phone only.
I did I worked up until my third trimester. I got sick and had to sit down. And I only had one baby. And I threw up every single day.
Mm,
I was sick every single day. They put me on light duty at work. And then I caught this thing called preeclampsia. My blood pressure went up and I had to go on bed rest. So, and that was just with one damn child in me, with my son in me. So I could imagine how, well, you know what, my sister had twins. My niece and nephew are twin, and it was very hard for her to do two on a day-to-day task. And she had two, and they had to sit her butt down. So it was very difficult. So going to work and doing a whole lot, especially when you got more than one child in there. You right. She can't you can't do too much now unless these people superwoman when you think of it. But everybody body is different. Maybe the work that she was doing, maybe she was making her herbs laying down or sitting down making powdered yam and or doing whatever they was doing in their country. Molly, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
mhm,
I couldn't tell you. When they was doing the video, I didn't see her do much of nothing but sitting in the, in the video.
yeah. Sitting down making rice and
She was
potatoes.
making, she made liquor. She said even though she was Muslim, she made alcohol. I don't know if that you saw the clip with all the flies flying around, and she was making herb medicine. She told the guy, "You can't come in here with your shoes on because I'm making medicine." I'm saying to myself, damn, the floor is the dirt floor, but she was like, you can't come in with your shoe. But look, I don't know what they do over there in them countries. I can only speculate. And the older ones had to work because you saw the older daughter was out there folding the clothes and stuff. So yeah, the older ones most definitely had to work.
Put
But
them to
this has
work.
come to the end of the Morning Mac show. Slicky, I'm sorry if I bored you with conversation. Um, oh well, because that's what I think that's what he was saying. It's too slow for me. Gotta go. All right, Slick. You do you. I'm gonna bust you in your lip when I see you. So, but I do want to remind people, Bernice function this Saturday at the Thurgood Marshall. Am I saying it right? Is that the right place? From 2 to 6,
Yeah.
Thurgood Marshall. It's called A
Nigga
Light for
Berger
Rome.
Marshall Center, 1816 12th Street Northwest.
Okay, 1816 12th Street Northwest. It's called A Light for Rome. She talks about mental health and awareness, and this is her way of helping and trying to give back to the community, trying to light uh, a torch for somebody, to help somebody. She said if she could save just one person. So won't y'all please come out and support and love up on my sister? I'ma be there. So I hopefully see y'all there. Molly gonna be there. Molly, you gonna be there?
Yeah, no, I'm
We're
there.
gonna try to make it do what it do.
Be out there with my sea malls, giving
Say,
out sea
yep,
malls for the
Seymour
people.
and shades the blue. Boom. Y'all come out there and see us. So until we talk to you guys again. I love you, family, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Latrice. Thank you, Slicky. Thank you, Nene. I can't see everybody's name, all this stuff. I'm forgetting somebody. Let them know, and hopefully, my sister be back with us again tomorrow, and we make it do what it do.
Always. All right, y'all. Tracy said, enjoy your day, Reese Ree.
Thank you.
Y'all be careful out there and be putting up glass in these kids' food, man.
Damn.